All right, today we're going to dive into a continent that is just full of incredible contrasts and, honestly, some really surprising truths. So get ready to have what you think you know about South America completely turned on its head.
Okay, let's kick things off with a question for you. We've all seen those amazing pictures of the Amazon, right? But what percentage of Brazil, the whole country, do you think is actually covered by rainforest? Take a second, make a guess.
So, did you guess 1/3? That's what a lot of people think. That's what's often reported. But the real number? It's a massive 1/2.
Yep, you heard that right. A full 50% of the largest country on the entire continent. And believe me, this is just the first of many surprises we're going to uncover today.
So, to really understand this place, we've got to start with the very foundation of it all, the sheer scale and geography. It's just epic.
Just look at this map. You can see it right there, the spine of the continent. That's the Andes Mountains. This colossal wall running along the entire western coast, stretching all the way down to the southernmost tip of Chile.
And the geography here, it's a story of superlatives, really. The Andes aren't just long for South America. They are the longest mountain range on the entire planet. And then you have the equator slicing right through the northern part, giving you these incredibly lush tropical climates.
But you know, it's not all about tropical heat. On the complete other end of the spectrum, have you ever heard of a pampero? It's the local name for these incredibly violent windstorms that just tear across the plains. A really powerful reminder of nature's force down there.
So, with a landscape that dramatic, you just know it's shaped the history of the people who live there. Let's dive into that.
Now, looking at this map, there's one name from the independence era that just echoes louder than any other. In fact, an entire country is named in his honor. Any idea who I'm talking about?
The country is, of course, Bolivia, named for the one and only Simón Bolívar, the liberator. I mean, this guy was a pivotal figure, helping to free nations like Venezuela and Colombia from Spanish colonial rule. But his story is just one chapter in a much longer history, one that really kicked off centuries earlier, back in the 1500s, when Portuguese settlers first landed in Brazil and built immense wealth on these huge sugarcane plantations.
But the history here, it's not all in the distant past. This slide shows a much more recent and, honestly, a really tragic shared chapter. As recently as the 1970s, both Chile and Argentina fell under these brutal military dictatorships where thousands of their own citizens were killed or just disappeared.
Okay, let's journey even further back in time to one of the most iconic ancient sites on the entire planet, Machu Picchu. We all recognize it, but what was it actually for? A fortress? A city? Maybe a royal retreat?
Well, here's the incredible part. For all our modern science and technology, we still don't know for sure. There are tons of theories, of course, but its true purpose? Still one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries.
So from this deep history, an incredible culture has bloomed. It's this amazing mosaic of traditions, art, and just different ways of life.
You've probably heard the term before, right? Especially when people talk about South American literature. But what exactly is magical realism?
Well, it's this literary style that, honestly, I think perfectly captures the continent's spirit. It's all about blending these extraordinary, fantastical, magical elements into completely everyday realistic life. And the undisputed master of this was the Nobel Prize winner, Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
And this quote, it just says it all. It describes an old man, right? And he's in the mud, and he can't get up because his enormous wings are in the way. See, the magical part, the wings, is treated as if it's the most normal, mundane thing in the world. It's just an incredible way to tell a story.
And of course, culture goes way beyond books. Here are just a few quick glimpses for you. You've got capoeira, which is this amazing martial art that was cleverly disguised as a dance by slaves. Then there's the iconic gaucho, the South American cowboy in his traditional wool poncho. Oh, and here's a great little cultural tip. If you ever get invited to someone's home in Brazil, arriving fashionably late isn't just okay, it's pretty much expected.
Okay, for our final section, let's bring it all into the present day and take a look at some of the really pressing economic and environmental issues that South America is facing right now.
This table gives us a really fascinating quick snapshot of just how diverse the economies are. So you've got Chile, a total powerhouse for exporting grapes. Then there's Ecuador, whose entire economy is deeply tied to oil. And for a stunningly beautiful region like Patagonia, tourism is absolutely vital.
But this economic growth isn't happening everywhere. There are still some really stark realities. For instance, Bolivia, the very nation that was named for the Liberator, is still facing some of the continent's most significant struggles with poverty. And this brings us right back to where we started, with that incredible rainforest. The single greatest threat it faces is deforestation, without a doubt. And what's one of the most powerful tools we have to fight it? Education. Just helping the public, all of us, understand why and how we have to protect this absolute global treasure. Now, I want to leave you with one last really surprising fact from Brazil that kind of challenges a lot of common assumptions. The country has actually managed to do something that even the United States hasn't: achieve complete energy independence and totally eliminate its need to import foreign oil.
So, from the unsolved mysteries of Machu Picchu to modern energy solutions, from magical literature to really tough economic truths, South America is a place that just defies easy labels. So I guess my final question to you is, what common assumption are you going to question next? Thanks for joining me.